When it comes to travel, do you want to go to the same luxury resorts as everyone else, or do you want to try out something a bit different? Forget about bungee jumping and skydiving, because we're about to go on a journey to the world's most haunted places, where even the bravest souls might have their courage tested. Poveglia, Italy. Poveglia is a small island located between Venice and Lido in the Venetian Lagoon, Italy. This island is famous for being the most haunted place in Europe because of its history that goes way back. The Venetian government declared the island as a quarantine area between 1793 to 1814 in response to the bubonic plague that broke out during that time. All those who were infected were sent off to the island to live off their final days. Even some healthy sailors who would come into contact with the infected would be trapped on the island forever, only to be buried like the rest. Later, this same island was used as a mental hospital, but the most terrifying part was that in this hospital, the patients were used as lab rats to go under experiments for doctors to understand their mental illnesses and hopefully cure them. These horrendous experiments were considered nothing less than torture and inhumane, resulting in the patients losing their lives. This island has been abandoned since 1960, and its eerie atmosphere and destroyed structures are off limits to the public. Only those who have special permission are allowed to go in, because it is said that the island is haunted by the restless souls of those who suffered and died there. La Isla de la Munecas, Mexico. La Isla de la Munecas, or the Island of the Dolls, is a mysterious and frightening place in the Xochimilco canals, just outside Mexico City. Just like its name, the island is home to a huge collection of old, mutilated, and decaying dolls, giving it its eerie atmosphere. The locals believe that these dolls are possessed by the spirit of a drowned girl. The caretaker of this area, Don Julian Santana Barea, saw a girl drowning in the water and tried to help her, but he was too late. A few days later, he saw a doll floating in the same place where he saw the girl drown, so he took the doll out and hung it on a tree as a sign of respect. Over the next 50 years, he kept hanging more dolls until he too drowned in the same area where he first found the girl. The dolls he hung, however, are said to be possessed, and people have seen these dolls move their head, body, and can even open their eyes. Some have heard these dolls whisper to each other and try to lure visitors to come to the island. Bhangarh Fort, India. Found in the Rajasthan region of India, the Bhangarh Fort was built in the 17th century by Mansingh I as a place of sanctuary. Legends say that this fort was used to be a place filled with people before the land got cursed because of Princess Ratnavati of Bhangarh. Legend says that a local tantric who used to practice black magic came up with a potion for the princess that would make her fall in love with him. The princess, however, caught on and threw it to a rock, which ended up crushing the tantric to death. Before dying, the tantric was able to curse the land so no one would be able to live there in peace. To this day, no one is allowed to go into the fort after sunset and before sunrise because that's when the paranormal activities start, with people hearing strange noises. Those who dared to go in during the night never came back out. The Skirrid Inn, Wales. Located in the southern part of Wales is the Skirrid Inn, which has a very dark and sinister history. This building goes back 900 years and was initially used as a courthouse for hanging or executing prisoners. To this day, the original hanging beam, which has signs of wear and tear, and the old prison cell are still on the property. People says that the hanging judge, George Jeffreys, can still be seen at the upper part of the inn and is still looking for people to judge and condemn to death. Other than this horrifying sighting, people have also experienced random doors being slammed shut, loud footsteps of people walking, and vague shushing sounds. Some have seen poltergeist activities, like glasses being thrown around, but the scariest experience that people had was sudden rope burns being formed on their necks. Glamis Castle, Scotland. This Glamis castle was built back in 1372 and is famous for its strange happenings. There's a story of the Ogilvy clan that in 1486 hid in the Glamis castle from the Lindsay clan. Lord Glamis himself let the Ogilvies inside a secret chamber, but what they didn't know was that they were about to get locked up forever. It turns out that Glamis was actually an ally of the Lindsay clan, so he left the Ogilvy clan in the chamber to die. Years later, people could hear voices coming from the chamber, which is when the skeletons of those people were found. Apart from that, the ghost of a woman without a tongue has been seen pointing to her face. People say that she used to be a maid who found out about a secret that the Earl of the time was hiding and threatened to tell everyone. As a result, guards were ordered to remove her tongue before taking her life. Then there's the story of Earl Bertie, who was known to be a heavy drinker and gambler. One night, when his friends refused to play cards with him because it was Sabbath, he got angry and said he was going to play with the devil himself. That night, the devil came to him, took his soul, and condemned the Earl to play cards until doomsday. People say they could still hear him sweating and yelling behind closed doors. Glamis Castle is open to the public to take a tour and roam around the gardens and the castle itself. Banff Springs Hotel, Canada. The Banff Springs Hotel, located in Alberta, Canada, is surrounded by mountains, which gave it the name the Castle of the Rockies. This hotel was built back in 1888 as a retreat for travelers and businessmen, and has hosted guests like Queen Elizabeth and Marilyn Monroe. There's a story that a ghost bride still lives in this hotel. Back in the 1920s, a young bride is said to have stayed in this hotel on her wedding day. She was coming down the stairs in her dress when suddenly her dress caught fire from a nearby candle. The woman panicked, tripped down the stairs, and lost her life. The hotel guests and some staff members have reported seeing a ghost in a wedding dress going up and down the same stairs the bride lost her life on. Sam McCulley, a bellman who used to work at this hotel as a bellman in the 60s, passed away, but his spirit remained, and is still working as a bellman in the hotel to this day. He's usually found on the 9th floor of the hotel, dressed in his 60s uniform, ready to offer his service to guests by carrying their bags. There are some rooms in the hotel that people avoid, one of them being room 873. People believe that a man was staying in this room with his wife and daughter, who he murdered before taking his own life. Shortly after this tragic event, the whole room was sealed, and a wall stands where the room should be. Guests who stayed in the rooms close to this would see apparitions of the murdered family members, and would hear terrifying screams in the middle of the night. Some have even seen the spirit of a little girl standing outside of room 873, who they believe is the daughter of the man who murdered his entire family. What do you think about these haunted places in the world? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's video, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be always updated with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in another video.